Now, D-U-Z, does, brings you the Goldbergs.
You? Does everybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends the Goldbergs are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap that does everything in your wash. Betcha that's Dan, the Does mailman.
Yep, in person, and just loaded down with Does letters again, Mr. Collier.
Boy, it seems every day is Does Day for most folks.
You bet. Take this letter from Washington, D.C.
What's that?
Mrs. Bertha Sykes says Does is swell for her laundry. So when her little niece spilled ink on the living room rug, Mrs. Sykes does the rug. And what do you think?
No
ink. Say, get this one from Wyman Dam, Maine, from Mr. William Baker. He does the goat.
A goat?
Yep. I can hear that goat now. Does.
Doesing a goat. Brother, that bleats all.
Oh.
And, folks, listen to this swell letter from Phoenix, Arizona. Mrs. Raymond Hill writes, "You sounded so convincing about Does, I finally tried it. Well, I got the surprise of my life. Does turned everything in my washout sparkling clean. The white things beautifully white. It's no malarkey when I say Does beats any wash day soap I ever tried. Well, Mrs. Hill, it's no malarkey when I say no soap gets towels whiter or work clothes clean easier than Does does. Yet this new kind of soap means extra safety for your colored rayon undies. Why, Does does everything in your wash. It's the soap that's best. Didn't actual comparisons with 25 different wash day soaps prove it? You betcha. Only Does gave you this outstanding combination. Unsurpassed whiteness for towels, unbeaten cleaning power for grimy work clothes, and greater safety for colors. So be a lady who does. Does best.
Listen to Dan, the Does mailman. Does everything.
Now Does invite you to visit the Goldbergs. The last scene of the tragedy of Edward Reynolds' life has just been played. Elizabeth Neal, after a long and unexplained absence from town, turned up when the news of Reynolds' arrest became known, and the mystery was solved. Edward Reynolds had not murdered Elizabeth to keep her silent, as everyone suspected. He had married her instead, thus believing he had pledged her to lifelong silence about his illegal activities. But the very shock of these revelations has made the townspeople turn their attentions to other, more pleasant things in life. For one thing, spring is in the air once more. And so it is with Molly, busy right now with spring cleaning. Listen.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, 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 my dearie. I love you in springtime too. Oh, my baby. La da 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 la da da. Wait, I'm singing, David.
Sing, Molly, sing. Why shouldn't you sing?
I don't know, with everything that just was.
Was is past, Molly. You're not singing for the past. Your singing is for the future, and the future is full of hope, and hope is music. And that's why you're bursting with notes. Sing, Molly, sing. It's a joy to hear it.
You have a guilty feeling sometimes when you're singing, when you know you have so much to cry for.
What do you have to cry for, Molly? A man was brought to justice. I'm sure you're not crying for Mr. Reynolds.
No, but...
Don't be a weakling, Molly. Get over making excuses for evildoers, please. If you were a doctor running a clinic, then I can understand that you would approach each person that you meet with a clinical eye. Mr. Reynolds is getting his just reward for a life wasted in crime and evil. So sing.
I will.
So let me hear.
And Teresa?
Teresa's young. Her love for Mr. Reynolds wasn't any deeper than your little brook that just covers the little stones that it runs across. A young girl like Teresa, her life and her experience of the heart are only beginning, believe me. sing, Molly.
I will.
Well, what are you looking for?
A dry dish towel.
Let me help you.
Rosie will help.
Well, where is Rosalie?
She's changing the bedding and preparing the spare room for Mrs. Bloom.
Mrs. Bloom? And why didn't you tell me she's coming?
I'm sure I told you, no, David.
No, you didn't.
She is.
And Mr. too?
No, only Mrs.
And you don't know why you are singing? Your best friend is coming, so you're singing.
Mom!
Yes, darling, dear, what?
You want me to turn the mattresses?
Don't turn yourself over alone. Let me help you, darling.
I can't help but turn over.
Wait, Rosalie.
I did it already.
Oh, she did it already. Rosalie, the guest towels take out of the closet with embroidered initials, MG.
I did, Mom.
What?
She did already.
Oh, it'll be good to see Mrs. Bloom.
Yeah, you'll have plenty to talk.
Oh, and how plenty, David. Oh, I'll sit a little bit. The work wouldn't run away. I'll do it. Nobody else will do it. Oh, David, I feel so talky.
So talk.
Oh, you know, David, sometimes I think and I wonder why it is. I don't know, but some people you meet and you like and you stay friends and if something happens and for some reason you don't see them anymore, I don't know, nothing remains of your feelings for them. It's like evaporates. But some people, David, no matter what, they move, they leave, they go away, like my dear Mrs. Bloom, for instance. David, is there an explanation for friendship, I wonder? I don't know, it's more than friendship. Or maybe not. Or maybe friendship like the word love is used too often and not so wisely. David, I love Mrs. Bloom, David, with the kind of love I have for very few people.
I'm one of the few, Molly.
You I love, and I don't know why.
Is that a compliment?
Yes, David. You I would love even if you were less wonderful than you are. But Mrs. Bloom, David, through the years of our acquaintance, at every turn, had to prove herself a friend. Oh, and it's a long chain of years, David. And never once was there a moment when she became less by a word, by an act. Always more, David. Always.
I also have such a friend.
Who, David?
Jake.
And Jake also has such a friend.
Who?
You.
What's funny? Why can't I know?
Oh, you boy,
Mike?
I knew.
Yeah?
What?
Is it good news, Mike?
The best. Before I tell you, I want to know if you can make room for a guest.
A guest?
Elsie?
Ah, you went and spoiled it. Why didn't you let me tell it?
Elsie.
Who was that guy who said life begins at 40?
You're not 40, Mike.
Who said so? 42's my next birthday.
Yeah?
Say the word, Mrs. Goldberg, and I'll wire Elsie. Dad, we're all waiting for her with open arms.
Uh-huh.
Only 2 arms she wants, Mike.
You said it,
Yeah.
Grandpa. You said it. I waited a long time for the right woman, but she came along, Grandpa. Grandpa, she's all mine. Give me a good word for what I'm feeling right now. I bet you can, huh?
Joy?
Happiness?
Ah, that don't touch it. I guess there are some things you can't put in words, huh? Webster had a lot of words, but I guess he didn't have all of them.
Maybe he never felt the way you feel, huh,
Nobody
Mike?
ever felt the way I'm feeling. Nobody. How are you fixed for a June wedding?
Wonderful.
What's a better month than June?
Okay. Put it down in your engagement book. And Rosie, put a red circle around the 2nd of June. That's the day. See your dressmakers, girls. And Grandpa, nothing less than a Prince Albert for you and a high silk hat. Rosie, I want to see you in a sky blue, muslin de soie.
Oh.
And you, Mrs. Goldberg, dove gray.
Dove gray for me. and Elsie?
Oh, Elsie, she looked like a duchess in a gingham bungalow.
Yeah.
Tell me what room she's going to have, will you, Mrs. Goldberg? I want to buy a red carpet and sprinkle it with yellow dandelions. Aha! See? The artist is coming out in me now.
Yellow with red.
The spare room will be all right.
The spare room is taken, Mike.
All right, David. Rosalie, you sleep with me and Elsie will take your room.
Oh, I'll bunk in the barn if you're all full up.
There's plenty room.
It won't be for long. I saw a little house that maybe I can buy. It's got 3 verandas, one in the front, one on the side, and one in the back. The kind all the soldiers are dreaming about. The kind we're going to build for them someday, huh? I wish there were enough Elsies to go around for every one of them.
There will be.
Where can a guy buy a couple of wedding rings?
A couple? Why a couple?
One for me and one for Elsie. I want the whole world to know I'm hitched.
Rosalie, take the phone.
Yes, honey.
Take it. If it's a feminine voice, it's for me.
Hello? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes?
Am I right?
Who?
It's Tante Elka.
Tante Elka? So it's for me, Mike.
What do
It's for
you
me.
know? What do
It's
you
for
know?
me. Hello. Hello. Who do you think? Yes. Yes. Why not?
What, David? What?
I don't have to ask. Oh, no. You don't have to ask. I'm saying yes. And anybody else's yes do you need, dear? Well, talk to me. You'll talk to Molly when you get here. Yes. Yes. Goodbye now.
So Tante Elka's coming?
Yes. She can have my room, and Mike. We will take the hail off.
Love and bloom with you too, Grandpa?
Nobody is as old as they look, Mike. Nobody.
Sit, I'll take it. Oh, nobody's as old as they look. I feel like 14. Hello? 49 today. Hello? Yeah? Yeah, Jake, wonderful. Wonderful. Huh? Yeah, darling, Mrs. Bloom is coming, Elsie's coming, Tante Elka's coming. Huh? Who? Who?
Who am I?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, Jake. Goodbye now. Bye.
Who am I?
Who?
Jose.
Well, where'll we put him?
Well, not here.
Where then?
Maybe Mr. Fernandez will have room.
Molly, you are starting?
I hope so. Oh, yeah, I hope so, David.
You know, sometimes the answer to a difficult problem is right at our fingertips. That's what Mrs. Lindsay discovered. You see, she needed a soap for dishes one day, and she remembered that box of Does in her laundry. So she said,
I heard Does is best. I know it does everything in my wash. Wonder what it does in the dishpan.
and that's when Mrs. Lindsay discovered Does does everything for dishes, too. She found Does make suds that stand up till the last dish is done. In fact, this new kind of soap burst into suds the instant water touched it. Mrs. Lindsay was truly surprised.
What do you know? The way those suds last, I won't have to keep adding more soap.
Then when she tackled those frying pans, she noticed Does really gives fast action on grease.
Say, look at Does whiz through that grease. There's no hard scouring.
And when the dishes were Does, Mrs. Lindsay looked at her hands.
My, Does leaves my hands nice and soft.
Sure, Does is kinder to hands than any other leading wash day soap. I tell you, when you Does your dishes, you'll find Does does best. In the dishpan, too. Does does everything. Well, the Goldberg household seems to be a magnet for the spirit of spring. Mike and Elsie, Uncle David and Tante Elka, and if Molly has her way, perhaps Teresa will find in Jose an escape from the pain of her recent love. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs, written for you by Gertrude Berg. This is Clayton Collier saying good day for the makers of Does, the soap that does everything in your wash. Would you like more points for meat shortening and cheese? Then save used fat. You'll get 2 red points for every pound.